to retreat. It would have helped me out a hell of a lot if I thought you would treat me cheap. Now the whole world runs in a circle like your pet hamster feet, and with you there's no exception. You're my only street. You make me want to write again, though I shore it off for good. You make me want to search again, the chaos of the soul. When you disclose the blemishes so soon by your baggy eyelid fold, you say it's the devil that you come to love, but I see an angel of truth written in bold. And I forgot to turn my heart off when you projected your mystery. Am I caught up in your plot? Yes, your winding trajectory. And I found you a thrilling composition. Yes, a composition of thrill. And I'm tied up in your story, like a frame in a Hitchcock film. Now the daylight has withdrawn the wisdom from the scheme. You know, it all looks so very different when a night train or lanterns gleam. A pipe can pass for a pistol and a shadow for a scar, and my heart peels from its tower in ceremony of what you behold. And I forgot to turn my heart off when you projected your mystery. Now I'm caught up in your plots. Yes, your winding trajectory. And I found you a thrilling composition, a composition of thrill. And I'm tied up in your story.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. This is Shockoe Sessions Live. It's a weekly live video streaming concert series promoting Richmond's vibrant music scene and rejuvenating your soul with live music from the comfort of your own home. Good evening, music lovers. Thank you for tuning into Shockoe Sessions Live. I am Reese Williams, and tonight we are live from In Your Ear Studios' dreary Studio A for the Poe Redux. The Poe Redux, not the Redux, the Redux. It's why we're here. Hey, why don't you join us live in studio? It's in the name, Shockoe Sessions Live. Yes, visit shockoesessionslive.com. Get your tickets. You too could have your tuchus in a cushy little black folding chair right here with us, and you can see the magic and excitement that makes this such an amazing community event. Seats are $15. Most of that goes to the band. All your tips go to the band. Yes, you at home, since you're not here with us, we would like to firmly but politely remind you to tip the band. Everybody needs help these days with gas money, instruments, all that good stuff. They have cats to feed. You'd be surprised what we learn about them. This is our 126th show, and we need your continued support. We started this during the pandemic 2.5 years ago, and we are one, if not the only, who are still going and growing and expanding and getting bigger and better and supporting the Richmond music scene. So we ask you to share the link, buy merch, go see live musicians anytime that you can, tell your friends about us. Word of mouth is still the most powerful marketing tool that there is. So please support the arts. Yes, as I said, it's the Poe Redux. This is the part of the Poe Museum's Centennial celebration. So the Poe Museum has been around since 1822. We'll get to I'll give you a history lesson a little later on. It's also in celebration of Edgar Allan Poe's 214th birthday, but he looks amazing, doesn't he? He looks so good. He is holding up very, very well. Please visit poemuseum.org for events. There are so many cool things happening. They make it very clear on the website. They do a great job over there. I'm looking over at the director. Maeve's going to come on in a little bit and tell us what's been going on. We might even ask her about the cats. But please visit poemuseum.org and support them as well. I get to kick off the show by reading a few excerpts from the coolest little book. This is Poe For Your Problems, Uncommon Advice from History's Least Likely Self-Help Guru. This is the cutest, most comical little book, and it's by Catherine Baab-Muguira. She's a writer and journalist who's contributed to the Wall Street Journal, Slate, CNBC, and NBC News, among many others. Her first book, Poe For Your Problems, Uncommon Advice from History's Least Likely Self-Help Guru, was published by Hachette last year. Well, in 2021 now. Last year, she was a finalist for the Library of Virginia's People Choice Award, and it won the International Poe Festival's Saturday Visitor Award. She's done interviews with the Daily Stoic, the Millions, and she lives right here in Richmond with her family. So please visit her website. We've got that on the bottom. And while you're on her website, you can sign up for her hilarious Poe-themed newsletter called Poe Can Save Your Life. It's so cute. Please show your support for her because this is a really, really entertaining little book. So we'll give you a few nuggets here. So starting out, she has a great illustration of Edgar Allan Poe in a rocking chair. To get you started on your journey to becoming more successful and more Poe-like, here's a glimpse into Poe's childhood and adolescence, the early formation of his contrarian ideas, and the very beginning of his distinguished career of misfittery. You'll discover how to locate the upside of your childhood pain, remain endlessly trapped in the past, and capitalize on your youthful egotism and neurotic mistrust. So she's got a little tip there. Poe does affirmations. I don't know if you know Edgar Allan Poe. His affirmations for the enraged infant in all of us. Wail the following sayings out loud, first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Even better, scrawl them in crayon on your wall. Number 1, the world has irreparably wronged me. I will burn it down. Number 2, my heart is forever broken. Closure is a lie. Number 3, they will pay. Number 4, I am everything. I form the very center of the world. Nothing exists outside of me. I think we call that narcissism now, right? Number 5, there's no way my parents could have spawned someone so fascinating and advanced. I must have been adopted. Dealing with rejection, Poe's got some wise words. Poe tip number 5 on rejection. Rejection? Humiliated? Adopt a fake name and flee town, ideally under the cover of night. Return when, and only when, you're rich, famous, and successful, or able to convincingly present yourself as such. So funny. Of course, love. Poe on love. How to lose at love like a real romantic. This is what you must tell yourself every time you feel your hopes stirring. Amorous longing is an evil you'll never get rid of. It's part of yourself, a portion of your soul. Age will mellow it only a little bit and give it a little holier tone. Or, in modern terms, Poe tip number 11 for love. No crush is too pathetic. No romantic prospect too weird, inappropriate, or obviously doomed to get your hopes up just one more time. Lean on in, and don't expect it to end well. For more on inappropriate love objects and worse behavior, turn the page, because many fans know Edgar Allan Poe married his first cousin, Virginia Clem, when she was not yet 14 years old. And what most people don't know is that wooing his bride, Poe wheedled, cajoled, stretched the truth, and threatened suicide. As meet-cute as stories go, this one's a killer. She is so funny. And finally, composing your world, changing a masterpiece. Poe tip number 20. There's no formula for making great art. Making it is endless work, and the effort might kill you, and it probably still won't be that great. If you're extraordinarily diligent and fortunate and capable, it might be regarded as okay. Pretty good? Not bad? Passable? Maybe? And then everyone will assume it was easy. She is absolutely adorable. Catherine Baab-Muguira, thank you so much for letting me read. We wanted her here, but she's out of the country, must be nice. But we really, really appreciate it. You have to check it out. Poe For Your Problems, and the funny little newsletter, Poe Can Save Your Life. I don't know how she does it. Now we get to move on to the music portion of the program. We have, kicking off, St. Samuel. He has been an artist right here from Richmond, Virginia since January of 2021. Now, Sam has played under a few bands and names for about 10 years leading up to the release of St. Samuel. After taking a 3-month break from publicly playing and releasing music, Sam decided he wasn't playing the kind of music that was true to him. His influences had dramatically changed. He grew up to be a different person than he used to be and decided that the thing he loves the most and holds the closest to his heart should reflect that. That's living authentically. That's what we like to say. After building up his self-titled artist project, Sam McCoy, for 6 years, he ditched it. He flipped the entire thing over, and with an entirely new name, sound, image, and hair color, which it suits him now, I love it, he came up with St. Samuel. The name is slightly ironic. Some people see the name and think it's some religious music, but that's not the case, because sometimes he cannot be such a saint, which he talks about in one of his famous songs, Such a Saint. He writes, he produces, he works behind the scenes on just about everything he puts out. He loves writing, especially with the new addition of his co-writer, Emily Bruzzo. Much of his passion lies within production, music video, directing, and editing, and it started a way to cut the budget down, but now it's where he lives, creating, singing, performing. It's his livelihood. I once called his music somber, but I changed it. It is now reflective. Ladies and gentlemen, St. Samuel.
Thanks for having me. I'm St. Samuel, and I have 2 songs prepared, but the first one that I'm going to play is one of my older, but it's like 2 years old. It's the second song that I ever put out, and it's called Yabomm, and so it's a funny name, but you'll see what it kind of stands for. He's got his bags packed,
and he's ready to go. Just some shirts and a pack, going out on his own. When he left last time, felt like it was for good. There was a look in his eyes, and I fell into the floor. I knew that it was over when he walked out in the rain. Looked at me and I could tell there is no other way. When it all came down to this, words I needed to say I couldn't find. You'll always be on my mind. He said he'll call home, but he's never coming back. He met someone in Paris, now she's all that he has. 3 years passed and I get a letter in the mail, an invitation to a wedding in the spring, hoping it was something else. I knew that it was over when he walked out in the rain. Looked at me and I could tell there is no other way. When it all came down to this, words I needed to say couldn't find. That it was over when he walked out in the rain. Looked at me and I could tell there is no other way. When it all came down to this, words I needed to say couldn't find. You'll always be on my mind.
I don't have to get interviewed this time?
You can if you like. So, Sam, tell us, what was the inspiration for that depressing piece?
I wrote it around, we were right going into the pandemic, and I wrote it about someone that I really liked, and they were about to basically go off and leave for 3 months to travel to a bunch of different countries. And it was always like, should I say how I feel before they leave? Because like they could come back with some, person they found in Paris or like something like that, or will they ever come back at all? And that was kind of the inspiration of it. And so I call it Yabomm because I always felt like You'll Always Be on My Mind is such a long thing to say for a song name. So I was like, I'll just call it Yabomm, which sounds like some funny pop song. But I think it's memorable, so it's nice. So yeah. It is a little, that one we'll call somber.
Yes.
So we'll call the other ones reflective. So, yeah. So this next song is actually a cover, which I wasn't planning on doing. I had time for 2 songs, and I usually wouldn't pick a cover, but I was playing this one the other day just for fun, and I was like, I really like this song. And then I remembered actually that this song is really special to me because Emily, who's my co-writer, one of the first times that I ever really heard her play piano is she was playing this song after a rehearsal that we were with another band. And I was like, what is that song? And she was like, it's James Taylor. How do you not know this song? And I was like, and then I heard it, and I was like, I mean, I've heard it before. I just don't know the name. Like, I'm so sorry. And I love this song, but, you know, without going too much into it, I've been through a pretty good amount in the past year. And we spent a lot of time together writing music and practicing, and she's just been there for me so much. And so when I think of the song, you know, Fire and Rain, I kind of think of her and I. So I'm going to play the song. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Since then, the place they made put an end to you. Walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I would see you again. Won't you look down upon me? Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You just gotta see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand, and I won't make it any other way. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I would see you again. Been walking my mind an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. There's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines and pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I would see you again. But I always thought that I would see you again. But I always thought that I would see you again. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Sam, what adjective do we use for a song about heroin addiction and suicide?
Reflection.
It's so reflective. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate it. St. Samuel.
You guys have a great show in store for you. The other artists who are performing are awesome. So appreciate being amongst them.
We got a kudos from Sam. Speaking of which, our next performer he was brought to us by Steve Sonnenberg, who is with the Poe Film Festival. I don't know if you remember, hopefully you watched our Poe show last April. That was a riot. We had bands, we had poetry, we had all kinds of things. And Steve Sonnenberg with the Poe Film Festival introduced us to Matthew Parker. And now he's out of high school. He is a freshman at Central Virginia Community College. He is studying history and English, and he's been writing for around a year and a half. He enjoys studying history, literature, and mythology while using some of what he learns as inspiration for his maddening poems. And last year's reading was so amazing. We were so impressed. He hopes to become a historian, mythologist, author, and maybe even a professor while honing his craft as a poet. And he's written a brand new poem for us just for this event. We are so lucky. He's also going to be a part of a few other Poe Centennial events, so you'll have to check him out. Matthew Parker.
Thank you very much. So, this is a bit of a continuation from my last poem, but you don't need to have seen it to get the theme real quick. You need more, then, in order to understand the evil that comes from knowledge, once thought wondrous, now corrupted by the wielders of this double-edged sword, likely to betray its master, for it has betrayed me in ways unfathomable. As I observe the falling sun, a symbol of light and hope, descend into the dark sea, faster and faster and faster, conjuring the alluring pink clouds while the stars return to their thrones in the sky. I ask, why? Why do humans seek to push past this beauty, nay, to expand beyond it, to push beyond the borders and meddle with other forces they have no reason to meddle with, all for the sake of the burning curiosity that plagues their souls, or merely because they just can? Because some are just relentless. This is the divine gift that mortals possess, a flaming ambition, the power to push and shove and conquer as they please, only to abide their tainted virtue of knowledge. Our will, our determination, that is what places us above all other creations. It is our beloved blessed, twisted into a dark and vile curse. And I, the hopeless hypocrite and cursed seeker, know, oh yes, I know where that endless horizon leads, born from the irresistible drug hoarded within libraries and promises of enlightenment, of the endless space, the abyssal seas, and thus I have paid the toll. Frankenstein himself, the subject of my admiration and the source of disgust, exemplified this deadly desire perfectly. His consuming ambitions, he who conquered the principles of nature, not because of a selfish need or a selfless want, but rather because he simply could, because he was just relentless. And what a doting disciple of him I have become in my quest for knowledge, for the truths unspoken, for things no mortal should possess. In my findings I have found only destruction and death, both of immortals and mortals alike. When I opened my mind to the abyss, it opened itself to me, only to consume me whole. And all who threaten to follow my path will irk it. And now it pursues me as a hunter pursues the quarry that continues to elude them. But make no mistake, I never escape. For my cages, both within and without, they are just relentless. In my dreams, in my waking thoughts, they constantly claw and scratch and bite and take chunks of my psyche, leaving nothing but a broken husk playing its part. A simple task becomes a living hell as I take one step forward. For that is all it takes. One step, one glimpse. So why? Why do I keep going? Why do I keep trudging on while others take the beaten road of ignorance? Why do I refuse to seek the comforts of those around me? Why do I persist when all I wish to do is stop? Why do I run to and from the very things that shatter my spirit? Because because I am engulfed by the dark flame of ambition. Because I am too far gone. How could I afford to go back? Because I'm relentless. I'm just as relentless.
Oh, Matthew, I think we can all relate. You are just a gem. He comes all the way from, what town do you come from? Lynchburg. Oh, 2 hours, right? 2 hours. He commutes all the way out here for us. We're making this an annual thing or biannual thing. We are so grateful. I really appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much. That was incredibly engaging. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, even though it is the Poe Redux, not only do we like supporting local musicians, you know we like supporting local artists as well. And tonight we have a lovely smattering of artwork behind me. I haven't done it in a while. Ooh, oh, the Vanna White moment. Let's start here with this lovely oil painting. This is Chris Semtner. He is an internationally exhibited fine artist whose paintings have entered numerous public collections, including the Virginia Historical Society and the University of Maryland. He's written several books and chapters on topics including literature, visual art, and history. He's also a curator, or the curator, at the Poe Museum, our neighbors right down the street who we're going to hear from. Again, visit poemuseum.org, and also his URL should be at the bottom as well, Chris Semtner. And this is Poe and His Cats, correct? Poe and his cats. And again, we're going to talk to Maeve about the Poe Museum cats later. We get a lot of inquiries about those, believe it or not, the cuties there. So just amazing work from Chris. Thank you so much for loaning us this beautiful piece. We have, moving on behind me, these two pieces here are that of Brit Austin. She is a queer illustrator and fine artist whose work conjures the whimsical, macabre, and dark folklore. Their art is inspired by fairy tales, the occult, hidden history, social justice, and the death positive movement. When they're not drawing, you can find them reading a library book with their favorite cuppa, wandering nature, or curiously exploring the whimsy of the dark and fantastical. They're currently living in Richmond. They're local, of course, with their demonic cat. Brit is also the co-curator of the upcoming gallery show Yuletide Monsters at Gallery 5. Well, that was last year. I'm recycling some content here. But every December they do the Yuletide event. They do Krampusnacht, so she's a part of all that. And you can find her at britaustin.com. You can also find her at Richmond Makers Market this Saturday from 12 to 6 at Basic City Beer. So go buy some local dark art. And then over here, we always call on these two for these type of moody pieces. They're sort of our go-to because they're just so good at it. This is Nicole Pisaniello. She is a Richmond artist as well and performer whose illustrative work has been published worldwide in fantasy art books. Locally, she's partnered with the Poe Museum to produce 2 solo shows based around Poe's work, as well as a mural collaboration that was part of Mending Walls, that project a couple of years ago. She's also the co-founder of Krampusnacht, which Brit is a part of, and Yuletide Monsters, which Brit is a part of, at Gallery 5 with Parker Galore and Red Vein Army. Now, along with visual art, Nicole also has a strong background in theater and gymnastics. She gives those silk classes and hoop classes. She was given all the gifts, is what we like to say. So she does the aerial circus arts, and you can find her at Nicole Pisaniello on the bottom and on Facebook and Instagram as The Art of Nicole Pisaniello. We are so fortunate that they loaned us these beautifully dark and eerie pieces. Thank you so much. I just have such reverence for any kind of talent like that where people make things look like what they're supposed to and they have a mood, and it's just amazing. I absolutely love it. Moving on to some more entertainment, musical entertainment. So, in a time where many rappers are often limited and they limit themselves to empty metaphors and basic punchlines, Chance Fischer, has established himself by delivering upper echelon lyricism. With a name derived from a combination of both Chancellor and Bobby Fischer, it's only natural that his narratives contain the methodical precision and planning similar to that of a chess player. Fischer's technique hasn't gone unnoticed by rap's frontline tastemakers, as his music has been featured on websites such as Pigeons and Planes, DJ Booth, RVA Mag, among others. Chance's music has been deemed conversational by Rob Markman, former deputy editor of XXL, now VP of Content Strategy at Genius. He's also made a name for himself via live performances, opening for Big Crit, Freddie Gibbs, and the late Mac Miller. We also have Ant the Symbol. He's a Richmond-based music producer. He skillfully uses his roots in hip-hop and eclectic musical tastes to create musical experiences that transcend genre boundaries. And I can attest to that. When you see who he has collaborated with online, it is almost everyone we've had on Shockoe Sessions, he's collaborated with them. It's amazing. In his 17-year career, Ant has worked with many artists, including Chuck D of Public Enemy, DJ Harrison, and Nicholas F. He's also released many albums and scored 2 short films. His modus operandi is to curate artist projects that will excite and affect everyone they reach for decades to come. And we've got him here for musical entertainment, Chance and Ant the Symbol.
Yeah. I feel like this is kind of like perfect for me because I be sad all the time. So they was like, pick a song that's gonna be like sad, and I'm just like all of them. So we're gonna have a good time. This first record is called Nightmares in a Frozen Hell. It's a nod to Dante's Inferno and the final realm of hell that's kind of a frozen tundra, and kind of my fight between faith, humanity, and what it exactly means to be in the middle thrust between those two things. So that sounded a lot more deep than it really is. I was just real drunk one night and I wrote this song, so let's go.
I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I lay my burdens down, but they wouldn't go to sleep. They had a bittersweet nothings in my ear when I would dream. He got me thinking that the thinking man ever think of things to make it seem. The scenes in our lives weren't perforated themes at the seams or theories. Medusa helped me see more clearly when I hit rock bottom down and got the more veering. Off the beaten path and I'm nearing them oases reappearing. These mirages so tempting, my thirst needs quenching. To hope for better days I am clenching. But with every step closer, another sand falls. And with every empty bottle, another last call. So I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. Cameraman, please capture my soul. I heard God trying to take it back slow. Thinking as I'm racing down a lonely road, what if Satan exists and God don't? I heard death's the angel without wings, cause he don't ever leave as long as one of us breathes. And I ain't mad at him either, cause that's his job. It just hurt that we serve the same God. And nah, this ain't sacrilege. In fact, the man above, the reason why I'm passionate, cause he done made all the seasons, even the ones we facing in our lives when we crying and asking him for the reasons. All I got to believe in besides the weed and empty bottles of reason, looking for a reflection at the bottom, I don't seem to see him. And that's the reason I'm screaming out carpe diem. I'm touched by an angel, but I'm moved by my demons. So I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. Look, what a burden to be considered a king. The people hear your words and don't understand what they mean. You're still a real one, everybody can feel. They question when they see all the power that's in your reach. And hot-headed elders with Napoleon complexes want to use all they leverage. Get control of the scene, knowing what it means. Living beyond the cave, they want to clip your wings, but a cage bird sings. That's why smart gangsters that string of bell deaths. The killer in the cave takes Tinkerbell steps. You nice as me is what they screaming at a figure. If we all draw weapons, we gon' see the bigger picture. That crabs in a barrel was a dish served cold as a side of revenge when the liquor gets old. So the smarter you are, the harder you fall. So it's best to be king when you know king at all. But I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. Hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. I hope you praying for me, praying for me. Drop.
Sometimes Templeton Rye gets you a really great product. Other times you have to settle for Bullet Rye. So hopefully you don't have to do that. That's where this next song came from. This is called No Sleep. Featuring Rob Milton, who could not be here with us, but we love him in spirit. Sleep never was a skill I had. A couple hours I don't feel that bad. I'm just trying to fill that bag. Make sure it's never guilt I drag. Mind racing and it's on a pace to hit the finish. I can't fit all these thoughts into a minute. I'm just trying to get right back to the beginning. 4 a.m. I ain't past the second inning. And what I do about the rest I need. Forget rest. I've been thinking about the rest I need. And a hustle that I muscle through all the doubt around me. I'm lost in a world that could have found me. I ain't tripping, the galaxy gone right. Every single wrong in my calendar invites. I got a palace that's in sight. Hoping ain't mirage, just talk on my insight. But wind gon' blow. The sun gon' shine, shine, shine. The moon gon' glow. But all that's mine, mine, mine. May come, may go. But I don't mind. I be up all night, sunrise, the lost glamour. Nailing my coffin with no hammer. I guess sleep doesn't need me either. Roll a reefer, need to reach my ether. But still, caught up in the world, the planet we gon' kill. Poor man don't get nothing handed, he gon' steal. Still trapping and grabbing up on stills. Getting money from catching it on reels. They worry about whether capping it gon' kneel. Instead of all of the tragedy they build. Bullet holes in the innocent black youth. Bullet holes in the stories with no truth. Bullet holes in the policy they pass. Bullet holes in the logic they can't grasp. Gun smoke in our lungs, the air gone. Tear gas in the eye of our storm. Drowning in waters we used to wade in. Got a strong arm, our race we used to wait in. Boxing us in with no way in. Fighting giants out my class, I'm no David. I'm just trying to ease my mind, it's on 10. I'm just trying to be alright with my sins. I'm just trying to realign with my friends. And I'm just trying to realign with my pen. But the wind gon' blow. The sun gon' shine, shine, shine. The moon gon' glow. But all that's mine, mine, mine. May come, may go. But I don't mind. We all gon' go. And I don't really wanna stress no more. And I don't wanna see no red. And no, I ain't pressed no more. I just really wanna see my bed. Where I gotta pick dreams and forfeit if I sleep instead. I just hope it all worth it in the end. I hope I ain't being misled. But they say sleep is the cousin of the final moment before we up above. And I don't know if I'm among the doves or down in hell having a supper club. Because it's hard to stay attached to love that glows rings. Money costs clothes, the gold on those rings won't put a down payment on peace for the eternal. So I write these thoughts in these journals.
Wind is gonna blow. The sun is gonna shine. Moon gon' blow. But all that's mine. May come and go. 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 I don't mind.
find it odd that life is like ash from a higher high. Bad when it burns, our redemption comes when our trays are dumped on the riverside. To some, getting high seem close to God, so that's what they turn to. And some men become their own God because the one they had wouldn't do. I'm out.
Give it up one more time for Chance Fischer.
Woo!
Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you to whoever's watching. You could have been anywhere else tonight, but you chose to be here. That means a lot to us. I can't say that I've had a really dark time lately. Things have been pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I feel like all of us have that dark side in us. And luckily, I have a whole library of music to help express that. I'm not good with words like Chance is. I mean, no, like, technically I'm good with words, like I'm persuasive and things like that. But in a poetic sense, that's not my realm. I've tried it, but I decided to stay in my lane because I don't need to be taking up anybody else's spot or anything like that. Anyway, I'm going on too long. I'm gonna take you on a trip through my brain in a different sense. So sit back, meditate, take it in, whatever you choose to do with it, do that. Here we go. Thank you. All right, I've been in here a few times, and usually it's the whole band up here, and y'all are probably like, what's he up there doing with this little box or whatever? Yeah, it's like a 35-year-old man playing with toys in front of an audience of people. But I just want to use my art to, convey different feelings. And unlike most lyrical stuff, you're able to interpret it how you want to. A lot of this is rooted in darkness, whether it be sadness, anger, mischief, whatever. It's the stuff that I'm playing is not joyous, happy, let's all run around in the field frolicking, Age of Aquarius type stuff. And I had to play this stuff in honor of Poe's birthday. I've never played it for anybody before. If you dig enough on the internet, you can find it, but pretty much y'all are the first to hear it, so thank you for being here again. Yeah. So I'm gonna go into the next part. Here we go. you. Once again, my name is Anthony, but I go by the name of Antisymbol. I was just telling somebody I've gotten into the habit of just being my regular outside of music self and just introducing myself as Anthony everywhere I go. So people can't really identify me through my music, but hey, whatever it is, I am who I am. I want to introduce my band right now, Antisymbol on the SP404. That's my whole band. Thank you, everybody. I just wanted to give you an idea of what I do and the music that I make. I will be back. Don't you worry. And the next experience will be bigger and better, I promise. Not that I have a lack of faith in the night. I think my music's pretty good. Y'all have a good night. Thank you to everybody for allowing me to be here. Once again, give it up for Chance Fischer, St. Samuel, everybody involved with it tonight. Y'all be safe out there.
So that's what it's like inside of Antisymbol's mind. Insert that emoji here. Well, we are all here tonight because of the Poe Museum. They are rounding out their Centennial celebration. It's Edgar Allan Poe's 214th birthday. And I don't know if you guys have been to the Poe Museum. They are our neighbors. They're on 20th and Main. Yeah, I got it. So just around the corner. The museum began over a century ago, and forgive me, Maeve, because I copied and pasted and hodgepodged my own little history together here, so tell me if this linearly sounds correct. The Poe Museum began over a century ago, April of 1822. It started as a shrine by James Howard Whitty, who salvaged ruins from the Southern Literary Messenger. Now, this building was the birthplace of Poe's career in journalism. Whitty met historic preservationist Archer and Annie Jones, who were renting Richmond's famous old stone house, and Mrs. Jones decided that the empty lot behind the house would be a fitting location for a Poe Memorial Garden. And Whitty allowed her to use the bricks and the granite from the demoed building to pave the garden paths and to build the shrine. The Poe Memorial Association eventually reorganized as the Poe Foundation, which was tasked with operating the shrine. Now, among the Poe Foundation's notable presidents was two-time Pulitzer Prize-winning historian Douglas Southall Freeman, who guided the institution through the lean years of the Great Depression and was responsible for changing the name from the Poe Shrine to the Poe Museum. The Poe Museum's collection is the most comprehensive in the world, and its influence reaches millions of scholars, students, teachers, and literary enthusiasts every year. And we have the director with us, Maeve Jones. Hello.
Thank you.
You're such a delight to talk to. We had so much fun last year.
We did have a lot of fun. And I have to say, actually, Reese, I knew about 70% of what you just said, so that was very informative. And I assume all correct.
It's from your website.
Okay.
So
well, in that case.
Maybe different pages of the website, abbreviated. It just, you guys expand on that, of course, on the website, but I tried to abbreviate it. And last year was really funny. You know, it was the kickoff of the 100-year celebration, and I know there was someone in the control room. I think I asked you, what's been going on the last 100 years? And someone in the control room was like, we're going to sit here for a 100-year recap of the Poe Museum. So I won't do that this year.
Okay.
But I do want to ask you, number one, first and foremost, how are Edgar and Pluto, the museum cats? Because we saw online they're on a diet. What's happening?
Okay, so thank you for asking, and it's great to be back. Edgar and Pluto are fine. If anyone out there is worried about their well-being, they are recently 10 years old, so they've hit their double digits, and Edgar has been put on a diet, but he is doing very well. They are still as spoiled as they've ever been, so we appreciate everyone's concern.
Were people giving them too much treats, or were they wild killing things and eating too much?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is riveting information with regards to the Poe Museum, just so you know.
So we do have a no-treat policy for visitors, but Edgar in particular has been known to murder a bird here and there in front of school groups, so
it's in his blood.
Exactly.
It's what he does.
He's a cold-blooded murderer.
So tell us about all the events that are happening surrounding the rounding out of the Centennial celebration.
Absolutely. So it was so great to kick off our Centennial here with you all last April. And now it's 2023. We can't keep celebrating the 100-year anniversary, but we can one last time, which we're doing this weekend. So every year we celebrate Poe's birthday with our annual birthday bash. So that will be on Saturday. On Sunday, we're doing a family fun day at the museum. And then Monday is our really exciting capstone culmination of the year of celebrations at the Dominion Energy Center. And we will be joined by R.L. Stein and Nettie Okorafor, who will be delivering micro keynotes about Poe's legacy. And then they'll be sitting down for a moderated conversation.
Very cool. Who is playing on Saturday? You have a neat little lineup for Saturday.
Oh, yeah. So we've got the Embalmers playing.
We love them.
We
little
love the
fez
Embalmers.
hats.
We've got Cassidy Snyder and the Wranglers. I really hope I got that right.
You did.
Thank
Yes.
you. Okay,
We've been trying to get them on Shockoe Sessions Live. We've been reaching out.
We're so excited. And we also some theatrical performances. The Cold Hearts are traveling down to Virginia. They kind of do two-man shows, versions of Poe's stories. And we also will be joined by the writer and editor of Love Letters to Poe, Sarah Smith, who will be talking about what it's like to write in Poe's legacy, much like Kat, who you read earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
we're
Matthew
really
Parker
excited.
tonight, who uses him as inspiration. That's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Absolutely. We are so impressed by Matthew. I mean, I was blown away by him in April. And at the museum, we really love to invite contemporary writers and artists who all, you know, are in some way in conversation with Poe's legacy, like the musicians we just saw. So we're really excited. It's going to be a big weekend.
Darkness is not going away.
It's not.
It can be beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Exactly.
Rose is in the spirit tonight, and her dress with bones and the tutu, and she was so attentive to the music tonight. I've never seen her just so engaged.
Oh,
so
she was enthralled.
she's got a dark heart, and I love it. What else is on tap for the museum for 2023? Do we have expansion? Do we have new exhibits and acquisitions, and what's going on?
So we're just really thrilled. You know, we're entering our next century at the museum. So we're kind of treating this as a kind of debut moment for some new plans. One, which is really exciting, and we're actually working with your neighbors here in this building. So V Artisans has been collaborating with us at the Poe Museum. And actually on Monday, we're going to debut kind of a virtual reality experience of the museum, a multiplayer experience. So the plan is that in a few months or a year or however long, you'll be able to enter the Ravenverse from wherever you are in the world on your phone, your laptop, or your VR headset. And if you want a sneak peek of what that's going to look like, you should absolutely join us on Monday.
And you can get tickets at poemuseum.org.
You can.
Can you imagine what people back then would think if they got to jump forward and see this technology?
I
You would
had
be
that
seeing
exact
virtual
thought.
reality around the museum.
I was thinking about putting a VR headset on Poe, and I think he'd probably think he had died again. I don't think he could comprehend
I
it.
don't think he would. And he would love the misery.
Oh,
He would love
absolutely.
the exquisite torture. It would just be.
Yeah, and we're also just in more plain terms, and I think Poe would be able to wrap his head around this a little better. We're redesigning some of our exhibit spaces at the museum.
Okay.
So, you know, it will still be the beloved Poe Museum that it is. We'll still have our unhappy hours in the gardens, but we're going to be refreshing some of our exhibits, making them a little bit more interactive and a little bit, you know, more engaging for student groups and adults as well.
That is beautiful. PoeMuseum.org. Thank you so much, Maeve. You are such a joy to chat with.
Thanks
about
for
the
having
museum.
me. It's great to be here.
And it's funny when you pass it on the street, it just looks like this unassuming little building, and you go in and the exhibits are great. The garden is gorgeous. It's walled. It's got vines. It has the arches. It's beautiful. So if you haven't discovered the little gem that is the Poe Museum, please do so as soon as possible. This is a great time of year when it's dark and dreary.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can go in and get cozy and check it out. Thank you so much for inspiring this whole night of events, for bringing all these amazing people together. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me, and thanks to all the performers tonight. It was really incredible.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a theme. We love a good reason to get together. So that is our show for this evening. I've got to thank St. Samuel, Chance Fischer, Ant the Symbol, Matthew Parker, our artists, Brit Austin, Nicole Pisaniello, Chris Semtner, of course, Maeve Jones, our author, Catherine Baab-Muguira. Thank you to everyone who is here in studio. We have a jam-packed audience. Everybody with a dark heart, we thank you with deep sorrow. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes, of course, that makes that magic happen. Carlos, Andrea, Paul, Eric, Billy, Charlie, Dave, Ben, Danny, and oh, so importantly, you at home for tuning in, for sharing, for donating. I hope you tipped the band. We had a bunch of performers tonight who would love a little piece of the action. The show can be seen on In Your Ears Studios YouTube channel right now. We'll put in the tracks tomorrow, so watch it again and again. Share it with people. Leave comments. Everybody loves the engagement there. We're going to be back next week with the Mojo Parker Express. They are dynamic and legit blues. You are not going to want to miss that. In the meantime, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for In Your Ear Studios, Shockoe Records, Shockoe Sessions Live. This room sounds great. And just to let you know, the musicians that played tonight, they all have an affiliation with the label Shockoe Records. Yes, they do. They're coming up. We're making moves this year. We are putting it out there, so visit shockoerecords.com, sign up for the newsletters, do all the right things, keep it dark, keep it somber, keep it reflective, and that's a wrap. Thank you.